Feels different not having everybody else sitting.
Cowboy, I figure we should start out with talking about Conor's jiu-jitsu and grappling and how you're going to approach that. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, just talk about a day like today. I mean, one day away from the weigh-ins, and you're riding around on your Harleys and hanging out with your crew. Today, can you tell me, is there ever a reason for you to fight at 155 pounds again, or does being able to enjoy life a little bit more make it so that you stay at 170 moving forward?
The problem is those guys at 170 are so big, hit so hard, like throughout camp, I'm like between 174 and 178, man. I'd have to drink a gallon of milk to get over 80, so it's so easy. Like yesterday we were in the sauna, everyone's like, what are you doing in the sauna? Like, man, we sit in the sauna at the ranch every night. I love it. I just love drinking water in there and hanging out. But I mean, I was 174 this morning when we woke up. It's not like it's a crazy, nasty cut. I'm fat and happy, ate breakfast, go playing on the bikes. But, yeah, the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day. You got to put the knees in the breeze and have some fun. So, I don't know. I love this journey, love this ride, man. It's so fun. So, 170, I feel a lot healthier, a lot more fun. Yeah, 55, I'd be sitting here sucked up, pissed off, not wanting to answer anything. So, feel good.
Nice. I know you're not a guy that watches tape and watches a lot of fights, to be honest with you, but with Conor being, the biggest star in the history of the sport, is it different? Is he a guy that maybe you did tune in for a couple of his fights along the way?
Well, I've seen live a couple of his fights, so, but no, man, the reason I don't do that, and everyone else says, why don't you watch tape? And I said, well, because if I see Conor throw his left hand and knock somebody out, then I'm worried about that. You know what I mean? I just let my trainers and stuff, they watch, they study tape. I mean, they do their job, and we work and we train and we game plan all around that. Just because I don't see it, I like to just worry about what I'm going to do.
Yeah. When along the way did he grab your respect? I mean, obviously that press conference, he was, the skinny English kid that didn't deserve to come up, and now you got a lot of respect for him. When along the journey did you go, no, that guy's the real deal?
Oh, just like everybody else when he started doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And when he got up on the stage, he speaks very well, and he grew the sport tremendously. I mean, the dude's a superstar, and he speaks well in front of the media. He brings a lot of eyes, a lot of attention. So, right about that time, I was like, this dude, he's the whole package, man, for sure.
As long as you've been doing this, I mean, you're a big fan favorite, but if you win this fight, I mean, it's going to be in front of the biggest audience ever. I mean, this would be massive for you. I wonder, where everybody talks about what Conor's going to do next, and does he want a 155 belt or a 170 belt, or I mean, where would this catapult you? What do you want to get out of this?
Oh, man, I'm just looking to go in there and have a good time. This is, I do this for me, man, right? This is like the money and everything's great, but I literally love doing this. And so what's next? I don't know. Sunday I'll probably talk to Dana before I'm loading up my bikes and heading home to load up my snowmobiles and go play in the fucking deep-ass snow that they're getting at home right now. So that's what's next for me. Go play, go have fun. And Saturday night, I get to go have the most fun I've ever had. So I can't wait.
Last thing for me, I know you don't want to look past this fight, but a little earlier today, Jorge Masvidal was sitting where you are. The BMF belt was right there on that table. And he did say, you know what? Maybe I'd be willing to put that thing up to challengers if they're willing to put something up for me. They got to make a bet, a wager. They got to have something for him to win. So I'm curious, can you think of a wager or something that you could put on the line for him so that maybe that BMF belt could come home to the BMF ranch?
Oh, man, like I said before, I don't know what I'd offer Jorge. I would love to sit here and say, man, I want a shot at that BMF belt, but he'd be like, yo, Cowboy, I just whipped your ass 2 fights ago, so what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I just big Conor, and now I'm ready for you. And he's like, I don't know. So, I'd love it. I'd love it. He wants to give me the opportunity. Absolutely. That'd be, I feel like I'm one of the last fighters, him, Diaz, there's only a few handful of the real fighters that are left, and so if he wants to get in there and mix it up, hell fucking yeah. But until then, Saturday night is what I'm looking forward to.
Cowboy down on your left over here. We saw you come in on the Harleys. Is that a usual tradition that you do? Do you usually show up to the media events on Harleys no matter where you are?
No, if the sun's shining, we do though. If it's a night like back home, it's 30 degrees. You ain't getting on a bike at home. So we knew we were coming to Vegas. Like, hell yeah, we're loading the bikes up because usually when we come here, it's summertime. I'd have the boat and the Harleys, and you guys would not see me because I'd be out on Lake Mead playing hard. So it's a beautiful day, out riding. It's a good time.
And you brought the Harleys with you from New Mexico?
Yeah, my trailer's sitting over there at the UFC box right now, just waiting for me to load them back up and take them home.
You're not staying over there, are you?
No, they're real worried about me and Conor crossing paths. I don't understand, but there's no way I'd fight Conor today when I can get paid for it on Saturday. So, yeah.
Harleys tomorrow Saturday before the fight.
It depends on if there's no wind and sunny, and I'm sure we'll be out on. We'll be on every day, you know. It's cool.
Masvidal was here earlier, and he kept saying that McGregor is the bigger fight for him moving forward. Of course, if McGregor were to beat you, and everyone always says that Conor is the money fight. What does that mean to you? I mean, is that true from your experience? I mean, you're fighting him on Saturday. Is it a bigger money fight for you than it would be for other fights you've had in the past?
Oh, if you're asking me if I redid a contract, yes, I did. And so thanks, Conor. Appreciate that. But moving forward with my next 6 fights, they're all money fights. So, yeah, it's not just this one. We did a contract where they're do all of them. So I'm stoked, happy to be here. Finally get the respect this old dinosaur gets for being here, you know. Feels good, 51 fights. I'm young. When that old son of a bitch comes knocking every morning, I just tell him, not today, motherfucker. I still got a long time left, so get your old ass out of here and come back another day. So that's how I stay young.
This is the biggest contract you've signed so far with the UFC?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Want to give us a hint how much you're to make on Saturday?
I think you guys have the number out there. Someone does, so, yeah.
Wanna tell us?
No.
Thanks, Cowboy.
Cowboy, I know you prefer having no trash talk, but are you surprised that Conor's not coming with a bit of his usual verbal warfare, as it were?
No, I was excited to sit back and have a chuckle. Just don't know what he's going to say, you know, what he would have said. You know, you lost your last 2 fights, I'd have been like, yeah, and, you know, couldn't really talk bad about me being a good father or a good role model, so I don't know what he would have come at me with, but I was ready. Just to laugh. I was hoping. I mean, he did good. He still had his witty little charm, and I think the press conference threw everyone for a loop. And it was good to see him become. He has such an awesome platform. Why not be a good role model? Why not be a good person? So it was cool to see him sit there. And the same thing I've been preaching my whole time. Like, man, you can steer this vessel any way you want. It's good to see him making the right path, man. I like it.
You and him have been linked for this 5 years, almost since the first press conference. What was it like to finally actually stare down with him and look him in the eyes? I don't know if you take much away from a face-off, but what was that like?
Nah, it was like they always are, you know. We're fighting on Saturday. I'm sure tomorrow will be a little more fired up, looking into my soul. I don't know. I love it.
The usual criticism of you is can't win the big one, like you said yesterday, and you struggle with southpaws. Some would argue then that this could be the worst possible matchup for you. I get the sense that actually fires you up more than anything, but what do you say to those people who think, stylistically, this is as hard as it can be for you?
Yeah, they always say Cowboy can't do the big fights. This is the big one, so we're going to see, you know. But all those guys that beat me have gone on to be champions and title eliminators, you know, so it's not like I'm just out there getting my ass kicked by nobodies, you know. The people that are beating me are good, and I've been in the sport a long time. I deserve the respect I get, and it's cool to finally see Conor giving it to me. And Saturday night, man, I plan on doing everything right. What Cowboy shows up, fuck knows, man, but hope the bad motherfucker shows up. That's what I'm hoping for.
Cowboy, over here to your left. Cowboy?
Yep.
So what would you think if the surprise was Conor starts talking mad trash when you get into the cage?
Oh, now we're fighting. Now that's a different story.
All right.
I mean, now we're actually in the octagon. Yeah, say whatever you want. It wouldn't, like, throw me for a loop or catch me off guard by any means at all. So I'd be ready for it. I mean, I fought Diaz. That son of a bitch, that's all he does the whole fight. So, yeah.
Speaking of Diaz, do you see some similarities in the fights that Conor had with Nate Diaz and the fight that you're about to have with Conor? Can you take anything from what Nate Diaz did against him?
You know, other than just a gritty, nasty fight, that's what I'm looking for, you know, 5 rounds of hell. So we prepared, my coaches and I. We're ready, man. I don't know what else to say other than that.
Okay, so you say you have a 6-fight contract and you're excited about fighting 6 more. Could that be it? Could the end of this contract be the final chapter of Donald Cowboy Cerrone? Or
this year? Yeah, maybe this year. But no, hell no. Not even close. It hasn't even thought about the final.
No problem.
No.
So getting the bigger payday, would that maybe stop you from trying to fight 4 times
Nope.
a year? No, you'll keep doing it.
You give me $80 million, whew, Sunday I'm going to see if you want to run it back again. So yeah, hell no.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Thank you. Last question is, how does the Donald Cowboy Cerrone of 2020 compare to 2015 and 2010? How are you different, and what are the things that you think you've improved on the most?
Oh, I've learned how to listen to my body, for sure. Training. I know how to get on the Harley and let the wind blow and not worry about this fight. This is a lot. This is a lot, man. This is a hell. I mean, sitting here in front of you guys, so you got to just put my knees in the breeze and let all that shit go, man. And just worry about rolling, you know. So for me, all the crazy activities I do, just get this out of my mind, you know. Don't think about it. And so what's different? I'm a lot more matured, a lot more veteran, ready, excited, and know all the steps I got to do to not be a slow starter, you know, to make it happen on the big night. So we'll see.
You think 170 favors either of you, or it's pretty much the same, being that it's 170?
Oh, I think it's. I don't think either one of us are going to be any much bigger. This is probably just our same everyday walk around training weight, you know. So yeah, hell yeah, it favors us. We're not sucked. We're not depleted. I'm able to talk to you guys, laugh, and have a smile.
Sounds good. And 170 is where you're going to stay, you think? Or?
Nah, hell no. Unless the next guy wants to meet me there too, you know. But no, I'll probably go back to 55. Or I'll fight. I don't know. Who fucking cares? I'm just going to keep fighting. Whatever they want. Don't matter to me.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Donald, in front, you have, you know, the most impressive collection of UFC records of any fighter in the history of the company. I'm curious, where does having your own custom Budweiser can rank amongst all your
Ooh,
career
man.
accolades?
That was, I should have brought one for you guys, but fuck that. I'm keeping them for me. That was like the coolest thing I've ever seen happen, man. You know? The Budweiser guy dropped off cases at the house today. It was just cool to see all my teammates and everyone ripping through the boxes like, oh, man, it's just, it's impressive. It's really cool. And, man, I got my face on a Budweiser can. No one get cooler than that. If you're into cool shit, you know?
Conor said that he's been abstaining from alcohol. Have you also been abstaining from alcohol?
No, no. Good for him, though.
And we saw you on the Embedded over on Fremont Street. You were singing along to Every Rose Has Its Thorn, I think. Is it basically any song with the word cowboy in it? You're a fan of the lyrics? Do you have any other favorite cowboy songs?
Fuck, Bon Jovi came around now. Everyone here would fucking fist pump and put in the sky. You know what are you talking about? Those are all American. I mean, the Guns N' Roses, Poison, Joan Jett concert that's coming. If y'all don't have tickets, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your lives, but Cowboy's gonna be there front and center for sure. Yeah, are you kidding me? What was that? Spandex Nation, I think, was the name of the band that was down there playing. They just rocked a bunch of '80s hair band music, and if you don't know the words of those, I don't know what you guys have been doing with your childhoods. But yeah, I like singing along. They should have given me a mic. I would have murdered it, and it'd have been fun.
Cowboy, this fight has been come close to fruition for the last few years, but it hasn't. As it kind of kept yanking away from you a little bit, did you think it was actually going to happen, or did you kind of give up hope?
Oh, we gave up hope. I mean, I shouldn't say we gave up hope, but it was just like it would always come up, always come up, always come up, always come up. And yeah, this last one, I was like, I'm fucking going snowmobiling, man. You just, if it happens, it happens. My manager's calling me, my friends are calling me, and I said, I'm going snowmobiling. You let me know if it actually happens. And they couldn't get a hold of us out on the hill, and we came back, and they're like, fucking sign the contract. It's here. I was like, oh shit, it is here. Call my coaches. Let's go.
Did it feel real right then, or there was at some point you realized that this is actually a go?
There was actually like a 2-week period where it still didn't feel real because something was happening on his side. No idea why, but yeah. So it still kind of felt like fuck. Are we biting the bit again? Are we gonna get fucking made fools again? And then it happened. So here we are.
What's your relationship like with your management team? I mean, I like, for example, Kevin Harvick. I mean, you do lean on Kevin for advice. He's been through kind of, different situation, obviously, but he's been through these pressure-packed moments.
Yeah, the KHI management, every one of our athletes, we all have each other's numbers. We all have everything. So to lean on any of those outstanding people is cool. I can call any one of those guys and ask them for advice. Ask them, they're all pumped up for this fight. We get pumped up for their races, for their golf tournaments, whatever it may be. And yeah, we're like a giant family, man. So it's really cool. It's not just me, or not just them. It's a well-oiled machine, and they work their asses off for us, so it's cool.
Last question: do you have a moment or an anecdote about Kevin Harvick where he's giving you a piece of advice and said, you know what, that's something that I can really apply and it has helped a lot?
Just talking with him, man, after the races and talking to him about his sport and my sport, and and how they're similar and how they're different. And yeah, I mean, I don't know about one specific time, but Kevin and I have had groups and groups of talks where we just sit and bullshit and drink ice cold, delicious Budweisers, you know? The first time I met Kevin was at a race here in Vegas, and I remember we were sitting back with all the drivers bullshit, and I was like, who the fuck is the beer guy? Like, how come we don't have any beer here? And he's like, that's actually me. And I was like, well, let's go. Let's get these beers going. And that's kind of how we met and how all this fun stuff started.
Hey, Cowboy, who do you think won the battle of the fashion statement yesterday, and do you think you got the edge when he complimented you on your coat?
Man, it was cool. It was cool to have him tell me. I mean, it was a fire-ass python jacket, so I'm pretty excited about it. But, you know, I just wanted to look good. He looked good. The best part was the camera guys wanted me to tip my hat up so you could see my face. They wanted 4 inches, but I didn't want to sit up there like this with my hat all stupid. So, and I heard a funny guy say I look like one of the characters off of Mortal Kombat that you haven't unlocked yet, the all blacked out guy. So I was like, oh, that was a good one. So it was fun.
And what does it mean to you? You know, you've been on this journey for a long time to be in this spot, and everything's sort of been growing the way it has with the UFC.
I remember being in the WC, crossing over to the UFC. The media was nothing like this, and having the PR team that we had, you know, Dave Schaller back then, and moving to Chris now, and how they tailor us and help us perform in front of you guys. It's a big thing. You know, we are entertainers, so learning how to speak and how to do media. The UFC does such a great job of helping their athletes perform in front of the media. So I'm really pumped that we have that avenue of the UFC to help us be able to speak well in front of you guys. So, but yeah, the media is big now. It's cool.
Cowboy, right here to your left. Since you mentioned the outfits there and everything yesterday, and you know the PETA back and forth, they actually just tweeted you and Conor a few minutes ago saying, "You're right. We are here to remind you that only cowards would brag about wearing an animal who was likely beaten and skinned alive. Why don't you knock out your own securities and wear your own skin?"
Woo, man. Well, I guess if killing humans was legal, I could probably wear a badass human jacket, but I got a white buffalo at home, PETA, and when she croaks, I'm going to wear a bitchin' ass fucking legendary white buffalo cape out one of these days. So, not at the ranch. I have a lot of animals, turkeys, goats, chickens, pigs. We kill them and butcher them. We eat them all ourselves, man. We use every bit of them. So it's not like I don't just go down to the store and buy beef, you know? We raise it and kill it and eat it. So if there's something inhumane or unjust about raising and killing my own meat for my own sake, PETA, you're fucked up. Granted, I didn't kill the snake or raise the snake to build the python jacket, but god damn, it was fucking cool, so I had to wear it.
There you go, and just one more from me. You mentioned maybe waking up on Sunday and saying, let's do this again. Of course, you feel you're going to win the fight. We've seen when Conor loses, he was obsessed with getting the Nate Diaz rematch. He clearly wants to fight Khabib again. Do you envision when you win this fight, you guys doing this again?
Oh, hey, sure, and I would, because I don't care. The who never matters to me. It's always the when and the where. So when I heard him yesterday talking about April sounds free and April, March, whatever the fuck they said, that sounds good to me. I'd love to get right on it and go back in March. So, yeah.
Cowboy, on the floor in front of you. Do you feel like it's easier for you to get ready for a fight if you have a lot of animosity against your opponent? You guys have been very respectful this week. Could it be a trap for you?
No. Well, maybe he thinks he's setting a trap, but no, I don't need to hate you to fight you. We're professionals, you know? A baseball team doesn't have to hate the other baseball team. Sometimes, sure, if there's bad blood or bad rivalry, it sells the fight a little more, but I don't need it to get fired up and train harder. I train just as hard, just as good, just to fight my best friend as I would to fight Conor, So, I don't need anything extra.
And finally, did anyone from the UFC say anything to you when you said you were going to ride your Harley in here 2 days before the fight?
Say what?
Did they say that was a good idea, or no one said anything?
Oh, I don't even think I asked anybody, so yeah.
Shut up.
They tell me I can't ride horses, can't skydive, can't bungee jump. I think I got a cowboy clause that says, just leave that boy the fuck alone, he gonna show up and fight.
And finally, who rode in with you?
My buddy Mikey, my Thai coach Pedro, and my wrestling coach Jafari. We had one more, but we lost him somewhere on the highway, so if you guys see a guy, right, he doesn't speak really good English. So if you see a guy out looking, maybe just this way, help him out. He's on a red dyno, so he's out there lost somewhere.